Oh my gosh! This card is just splendorific. I mean, look at all the great fights on this thing. Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. Oh, neato. Alexandre Topuria versus Colby Thickness. Damn, boy, they're thick. No day. Quillen Salkild versus Anshul Jubilee. Oh, man, that one's flying under the radar for sure. And, of course, the rematch between Dricus Duplessis and Sean Stripp. Oh! Get the fuck out of my way, you stupid fucking nerd. All right, here's the fucking thing about Dricus, dude. You guys, here's the thing. He's nut hugging. He's sniffing crotch. So how about instead of being a pussy and humping my leg, why don't you stand and bang with me? No, Diddy. Like a fucking man. Do the man dance. I'm gonna go to war for you guys, dude. I'm gonna teep kick this coach victim at range until he cries uncle. Did Uncle make you cry when you knocked over his beer as a kid? Or did you cry, Uncle, after Dad was through for the night? I'm not standing with you. I'm gonna wrestle just like Uncle Jack did when Mommy wasn't looking. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Oh, he really got me there. Oh, shit. Oh, how could you say something so distasteful, Dricus? I withstood torture every single day for you guys, dude. For you fucking guys. Splitty City Slickers. Welcome once again to Split Decision Combat Sport, where Hank the Tank and the Idaho Fight Fan occasionally agree. We concede a time or two, but mostly we disagree beyond the realm of human comprehension. They've gone mad, they said. They've gone mad. They've got a clock in their heads, but we don't. We're actually the sanest people on the internet, Splitty City Slickers, because we always call it how we see it, and we have different perspectives, and therefore you guys, dude, you get to decide the difference between us, and we got a lot to be split on this time, Idaho. We can be split on whether this card will actually be good or not. We can be split on the winners of a bunch of sleeper hit fights on the card, just like the nerd said. Lots of sleeper hits. And also, of course, we have the main event between Sean Strickland and Dricus Duplessis. Went to a split decision. So therefore, what better duo to call the fight than Split Decision Combat Sports, Idaho?
Yeah. Said that we're the sanest people on the internet. I would say one of us is a little more sane than the other. That intro is a testament to that.
Yeah. Good insanity. It pays. Yeah.
But sure. As far as the card, obviously, like name value, it is a pretty bad card. But that doesn't always mean that it'll be a bad card as far as entertainment value. So I'm hoping for the best, expecting the worst.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the best perspective to have, and I've had it in life in general, not just in combat sports. So it's the right approach to take. But yeah, man, I think there's a lot of decent fights on this, actually. Like, as I kept scrolling through and making predictions, I'm like, wow, this will have a finish. It'll actually have some good action on the main card and off the main card before we get to the main event. So even though the name value is not there at all, I think it's actually going to be a pretty fun experience. Speaking of very, very fun experiences, we have to go through Hanks, locks, and underdogs for regional MMA. And as a special treat for all the Splitty City Slickers, I've got 4 cards to go through on the regional scene with my lock and underdog, of course. Oh, wait.
So why you pull that up? Because you're on the wrong thing. Let's just talk about really quick. Last week's Tapology leaderboard. I finally did it. I finally got the dub.
Yep.
And I don't know how I did it, but I got it done. It was 70 points over the second in line. Shout out to Degenerate Dane, who got 7th. Sean Moody, 9th. Friends of the show, Weedy, I saw him in the chat. He got 12th.
Yes, sir.
And then Hank, 17th, right above in the granite. Shiloh, who does really good on these cards, actually got 21st.
Yeah,
man. That makes us 2-1 on the year, so I'm up.
Yeah.
Trying to keep that win streak going. But yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, man, it's one of those cards. It's one of those rare cards where, like, usually I'm the one who's like, hey, this underdog's pretty good. Hey, this underdog's someone you should bet on. And then, of course, they never end up winning. And then I'm just like, okay, you know what? This is taking place in Riyadh. We know what all the advantages are. I might as well just pick a bunch of the guys who are favored to win because a lot of these are going to go to a decision. But what do you know? The judges were actually pretty much fair and accurate the entire time. And Hank the Tank suffered as a result of these things. So next time they go down to the Middle East, they go down to the desert. Then I don't know. I'm gonna probably side with some more underdogs and think creatively. But I definitely thought creatively on some of the locks and underdogs I had for this week, including in Invicta. We have Shanna Young as my lock, the Shanimal against the German Gypsy, Katharina Lenner. Wow, these are like right out of a mud show. But yeah, look, Katharina Lenner, she's only had one win in her last 5 fights. 4-2 girl. Wasn't in LFA. In LFA, she lost. Shanna, meanwhile, has gone to close decisions with actually pretty solid competition in the PFL, and recently had her first big win in Invicta. So she's actually had an Invicta win. Her opponent hasn't had none, and she is on a really tough streak right now. So that is why she is going to be my lock. And then I have the underdog, Amber Medina against Anna Somers, 0-0, 2-2. And Somers lost. Actually, no, she won by a split to a 0-0 opponent. So I thought, you know what? 0-0 gal, she is actually on a win streak and getting knockouts at that. And so I'm like, why not? I'll pick her by decision, but wouldn't be shocked if the underdog ended up getting the KO here. By the way, let's read through some chats because we actually have a good column of them already.
Yeah. Nick, my good friend Nick, who goes under the alias Charlie Bronson on YouTube. He said, this is cool and all, but UFC is coming back to Iowa after 25 years. Well, there you go. And then obviously here's Isha salty that they're not in Minnesota.
What the heck? Where's Goozy?
And he said that he would go to a UFC in Boise at this point. Only one time they've been to Boise. I think it was, by the way, it's not Boise, it's Boise. That's how you know somebody's not from here. But,
I see.
That's how we weed them out. Watch out.
Who was the big local fighter for that card? Because usually when it's in like an individual state, you're like, oh, and this guy's from Idaho, you know?
Probably some bum.
Yeah, it's the bum.
I mean, like, is this Hank's Harry Carey?
No, it's just Jim Carrey. Although there was one time I was in Japan with a sword, and I won't get into it, but they had
Hank
to
looks like
together.
The hills have yeah. Who are you supposed to be in the beginning with the teeth?
I was supposed to be a nerd, just a fight nerd who's just so excited to watch every single card, which is what we are, to be honest. So I might as well visually display that.
Shout out to MMA nerd. If you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself? That's pretty suspect.
I wouldn't even be able to reach the hot dog. So probably not.
Are you saying that you are not well endowed?
No. Just my spine doesn't go all the way.
Good to see you, Larry. The show's already off the rails. What is up, Klaus? Hey, that guy on the left is Chad Mendes' sparring partner. No.
Yes, every time he goes,
he wouldn't even punch me. He wouldn't even punch me. I asked him to punch me in the body, and he wouldn't do it. Said his lawyer wouldn't let him do it.
Shows that he wasn't ready for bare knuckle.
Gonna be a caveman boink main card. Hell yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
It makes me physically ill to see a Topper brother on a pay-per-view. Yeah. Dude, there are no more Iowa fighters signed. The headliners are a Brazilian versus a Canadian. Isn't Anthony Smith still in the UFC?
No, he's gone.
I guess he's from Nebraska.
He crumpled like paper. And with Klaus, he missed a very vital part of that comment. It should make you physically ill that he's on the main card of a pay-per-view. Not just the prelims, not just the early prelims, a main card. Anyway, getting mad just thinking about it. Let's get to LFA lock and underdog. This is LFA 201. And my big underdog for this one is going to be a man by the name of Marcos Aurelio. This guy is 6-0, Brazil, 5-1 guy, knocks out with an overhand right, 10-3 ground and pound, finish. This is a little bit of a suspect fight because the guy was 1-6, but ever since then he's just been on a win streak, you know. Meanwhile, this guy Victor Gabriel, okay, he's in Jungle Fight, which is basically LFA, discount LFA at home. And then
Brazilian LFA.
Yeah, anyone with an actually solid record is kicking this guy's ass. And so I just think that Aurelio has a lot of punching power. It's LFA. LFA has finishes, and Aurelio is going to kick off the card with a round 1 knockout. And then in the main event, we have the LFA Strawweight Championship on the line between Rose Canseco and Lainey Silva. And this is where my underdog is, because I am going with Lainey Silva. She has a lot of power in her fists. Look at this image. She's got 2 freaking medals. So not only is she powerful, she's a wrestler too.
Oh, you're a wrestler now.
Oh, you're a wrestler now. I play touch button the part. And then this guy Rose Canseco. She lost to this Alexia Tainara girl who really looked rotten in that fight, and still somehow managed to win by unanimous decision against her. And ever since then, she's been all right in LFA. But Lainey Silva actually is very talented all over. So I think she could sting up Canseco on the feet and take her down if she wanted to. But she's an underdog, so I'm going to take it. Easy underdog for Hank the Tank. Do we have any more new comments?
Just Nick says Jungle Fight is Brazilian Sengoku. I have a small request.
Yeah.
Can you do the rest of the show with that mustache that you had so we can both have mustaches?
Sure.
Nice.
Beautiful. Thing of beauty.
Fantastic.
Man, I feel like a man already. Holy shit.
There you go.
Randy Marsh. And then
he does look like Randy Marsh. Yeah. That looks like Don Fry. That's like a Don Fry-esque mustache.
Yeah, just in the corner. Or your local getaway driver in the taxi cab at the start of a robbery movie. Or Steve Buscemi in any movie he's been in. And then we have what is this card? Goddamn, it's ACA, Idaho's favorite promotion. I am first going with this man Gasanov to win by round 4 KO.
Why is it my least favorite promotion?
It's because it's ruled by what is his name? Kizriev or something?
Ramzan Kadyrov.
Yeah, Kadyrov. It's owned by Kadyrov. It's bad.
Okay, but that's not why I hate it.
Oh.
That's not why I hate it. It's because you train at Akhmat Gym.
Mm-hmm.
If you train at Akhmat Gym, you are on ACA shows. And if you don't do well in ACA, where do you go?
Brave.
You go to the military, the Chechen military.
That's right.
That's why I don't like ACA. I don't like talking about ACA at all.
Damn. Well, I'm going to go real quick through this one.
Go for it.
I'm going with Gasanov by round 4 KO. The guy has defended his belt 4 times, and he's just dominated against pretty much everybody. Solid records, too. And then there's this guy, Shamil Abdullayev, 18-3, 16-5. This is what makes me want to pick Gasanov. Majority decision against the 16-5 guy. This guy's going to lose at least a decision against Gasanov. And I think he's going to get a ground and pound round 4 KO against a young gun. And then we have my big underdog for the card. It's a Magomedov against a guy whose last name is not Magomedov. He's French. You know, that doesn't help out that much. Lost to a 19-7 guy in ACA. That's never really that good. He's a finisher, but this guy over here, Magomedov, he got a knockout in his last fight, but he's getting a lot of decisions through wrestling. And I'm going to pick a Magomedov wrestler. So give me him to win by decision. And then
hope the best for all of those fighters' families if they don't win.
Sure. Yeah, because their hubbies are going off to war, ladies and gentlemen.
Or they'll just disappear and never be heard from again.
Yeah, gulag. No stew. And that's it, man. That's it for my locks and underdogs.
Well, thank God. Now we can actually do the show. You ready to get into this?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So our first...
Well, we first need to mention that one fight night. It's happening on Friday. Nongo's going to be there, and Prajanchai?
Prajanchai. Oh, geez. Yeah, Prajanchai is going to defend his kickboxing belt. Nongo's back on the card. I think he's fighting Kong Thorny, or Kong Thorny is on the card. I don't know. I've been told from some of my insiders, Phil, that this card is actually not very good. But yeah, I mean, and anytime there's like not a lot of Muay Thai fights and it's just MMA, like largely MMA, it's not good.
Not good.
But there's gonna be BKFC from Newcastle. Fury is doing a card on Friday, kind of uncharacteristic of them. Yeah. Anything else that's happening this weekend you wanted to talk about before we break down the UFC?
Let me think. God, I wish there was a good boxing card that I could talk about, but now boxing.
Well, there's going to be Otto Wallin versus Derek Chisora. That should be a good fight. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and then I think there's some weird random card on Sunday. Oh, and then Pro Box is doing a card on Saturday, which is weird because they usually do them on Wednesday. That's what I thought was kind of weird about this weekend or this week is like usually there's stuff throughout the week, like random regionals. But this week it's all Friday, Saturday. But something that's going down on Sunday is 24 fight card from K1. They have claimed there will be an international broadcast for that. So I've told myself that I wouldn't try to cover K1 again on this channel because the hopes are looking pretty bleak for actually watching the card. There will be like 6 fights on YouTube for free. At least that's what they did last time. But
yeah,
I've been told that it's a troll job. They're not actually going to have an international broadcast. But against my better judgment, I will give you a K1 fight companion, and we'll be struggling the whole time trying to find a link. So,
yay! And if you enjoy Idaho's Fight Fan trying to find a link, that is the fight companion for you.
Dude, the last one got like 3,000 views of me just
exactly.
Link, you were on for a little bit. You were on for a little bit, and you pissed me off. And we got into an argument live on stream, and that stream got like 3,000 views for and it was just that. It was terrible.
Really good episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna still try to do it. Anyway,
we got any comments before we head out?
Yeah. Chris says, "Is this UFC?" And then Isha says, "No, it's M1." Care to comment?
Shout out to M1 Global.
Shout out to M1 Global
for creating Naked Train.
Absolute split decision championship. I swear, if either of you Saints picked against, how do you say it? Njermjardal?
Njermjardal to Mendembral.
Wow. I'm going to be disappointed. All right. Well, there you go. I'm going to Park. All right. Well, you have fun, Larry. Oh, I'm going Park. Okay. Sorry. That's the first guy on the card. Hank, what's up? Is that a real mustache?
Yes. All it took was one day on the job. And I...
is that the stat? That's a real stashed, just not his. Oh yeah. Okay. Good to see you, Chris. Not in the Ambrose says in 3 weeks. There's a huge boxing card. Is that better BF versus Bivol?
There's a huge. Yes, I believe so. Yes, the sequel.
Connor might fight before we get a K1 North America. Yeah, there was supposed to be one in New York last year, but they anyway. Ish says I would pay $80 for K1 World Max. 25 on Triller was awesome. I was willing to pay every time. I would pay for sure. Strowman started Dono Train. I'm broke. Yeah. Well, your wish was answered. Thank you, Isha, for the loonies, my good pal. Appreciate that, my friend. Hey, you know what? Just become a member, and then you don't have to donate ever.
Exactly.
But anyway, I digress. Let's get into this card. So, I mean, that's like what the show's called. So, yeah.
Oh.
All right. So we got Hung Sung Park versus
Njermjardal. Oh God. Njermjardal to Mendembral.
At flyweight, Park is 9-0. He's minus 280 as the favorite. He is 29. The Art of Knockout, I'll just say his nickname, is 8-1-0. Plus 225 as the dog. And he is 26. Hung Sung Park, let's see, knocked out Shannon Ross, which I think I've knocked Shannon Ross out just on accident. Just I think I was walking down the street.
I filmed it, and my camera knocked him out too.
That's right. He got knocked out twice. He submitted this man, Choi. Was that a road to the UFC? Yeah, that must have been a road to the UFC final. On the other side, this man, what country is he from? Oh, Mongolia. Lost his UFC debut by split to Carlos Hernandez, and he was also a road to the UFC finalist. And then Carlos Hernandez, I don't even know how. I don't know what. Yes. Anyway, he fought 2 months ago. He lost to Splitty, and then, interestingly enough, Park fought a year ago. I got to tell you, I don't know anything about either of these two. Unfortunately for you, Paradox, it's looking like Park decision, but I'm gonna just probably steal Hank the Tank's pick.
Even if it's unfortunate, Paradox the Chat is still able to give a 1 pound super sticker. Thank you very much, Paradox the Chat. We appreciate it. Listen, you being around in our chat for months, like you've been around forever. Just you hanging out and building this community is bigger than any money that you could give us. But thank you so much.
Send us a lot of viewers.
Anyway, yeah, absolutely, for sure. But I am going with Park. I'm going with Park. I'm sorry, Paradox the Chad. I'm going with Park by decision. The reason being that Nyemjargal Tumendemberal lost to Carlos Hernandez in his last fight. If having the art of knockout was a class, he would have gotten an F on his last project. Though Nyemjargal has power, his striking is sloppy. Hyunsung Park's is way more crisp and precise. He'll be calm and composed in the cage compared to Nyemjargal. Much like his nickname says, peace of mind. And when your last name is Park, you should have peace of mind as well. You're going through a park. But he also has wrestling ability, so he should sting up Mr. Mixiez Pitalik from the Superman franchise on the feet and take him down when he needs to for the unanimous decision victory. This guy has the most convoluted name in UFC history. And I made sure to go to Google so that I knew how to perfectly pronounce it.
You had it play it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
And it was Nyemjargal Tumendemberal.
Larry says Park and Niam have a common opponent. Kiram, Park subbed him in the first. Niam to a split decision. Could have went either way. I like Larry's way of shortening his name, Niam. Naniam Bro says thoughts on Connor spitting on someone while his 6 bodyguards surround the guy and he tells them that he won't do anything. Yeah. I think that Connor is a crazed man. I mean, I won't like overhype it. Oh, he spit on a guy. Oh my god, this is not the worst thing he's done in public.
Yeah, or in court,
but yeah, or outside of court. But thoughts on it? It sounds like regular Connor weirdness and just degenerate behavior.
The downward spiral continues.
Yeah, not much. I'm broke as well, but dude, like I said, dude, you've sent us so many viewers, so we appreciate you.
Brother.
Here comes Isha with the freaking
what are you talking about?
Yeah. Half full, glass half full mentality. This card is awesome. Should honestly just be a fight night. Oh, okay. There you go. As the pay-per-view portion is weak. So many prospects on this card. Yeah. No, and I mean, like I said, the name value is bad, but that doesn't mean the card will be bad. Anyway. Hey, what's up, Lele? Good to see you.
Previously known as Lane.
Okay, it's Lane. Got you. QRM arguably beat
Tumendemberal.
Yeah, that guy. Tumendemberal is gonna scramble this guy into oblivion. Well, there you go. TMZ Connor era. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
You're on TMZ.
Octua on the Eagle fan is a new level of disrespect. Well, good thing I don't know anything about what Hawk Tua has been up to besides scamming people as far as Bitcoin is concerned. But anyway, let's go on to the next fight. It will be Quaylen Salkild.
Yeah, Quaylen Salkild.
versus the greatest fighter of all time, Anshul Jubilee. When is Jubilee match? When is Jubilee match? I must watch. This is taking place at lightweight. Quaylen? I don't know who the dude. What is up with these names today? He is 7-1-0. He is minus 410 as a favorite, fighting out of Perth. He's 25. Anshul Jubilee is 7-1-0 as well. Fighting out of India, he is plus 230 as the dog. He's 30. Jubilee, as we all know, fought this guy Jekka, and I don't think he's ever been seen again. And then Mike Breeden barked at him and knocked him out.
Junkyard dog.
He is 4-1 in his last 5. And then this guy got in the UFC via decision from the Contender Series, probably 4 months ago. So what is that, like the last Contender Series card? Anyway, I don't remember this guy. I feel like his last name is recognizable. But one thing I will tell you is that Anshul Jubilee, although not being like good, he's not the worst fighter I've ever seen. He was actually doing well against Mike Breeden until Mike Breeden just, like, I don't know, turned that dog just got ignited in him. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna just say that this dude's an outright bum. I don't really know anything about Sal Killed. Can you tell me something about him?
He's got solid wrestling. He has a surprising amount of power, but he did go to a close decision in his Contender Series fight.
Well, all I'll say is if you're going to bet, I don't think it's the worst idea. Put a little bit money on the dog that is Anshul Jubilee. But just for all
on the credit card,
pick 'em purposes, I'm gonna just go Sal Killed via decision. But again, I don't think Jubilee is the worst fighter in the world. He might be able to get this one done. So
yeah. And hardcores who watch Dana White's Contender Series in the regionals will be stoked for this card. The haters are leaning on name value. That is true. But again, the pay-per-view is not worth the price. And now this is what I wanted to mention. Jubilee! When is the Jubilee fight? When is Jubilee fighting? Where's the link? I need a link. Why don't you stream it? Stream it on your screen. I need a link for Jubilee.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's go.
You know what? That is totally granted, because Isha has to deal with this every single time he streams a fight. And yeah, don't think the pay-per-views have been worth the price since they left the $50 price range. Yeah, I haven't paid for a pay. There was one time in about 2020, I think it was Costa versus Izzy. I asked my freaking mom for $80 because I was broke to buy a pay-per-view. And geez, I'm so far from those days. Can you imagine paying $80 for a pay-per-view? You got to be insane.
No way. No freaking way.
I'm afraid Jubilee is going to be stuck working the late night shift at 7-Eleven once he takes this L.
Thank you.
Wow.
Come again. Wow.
Chris says, give me a link.
Hey, Apu's off.
Ty's got the crystal ball. He says, I see Jubilee getting a finish. And he says, thank you. Come again on the mic. Oh my gosh.
That doesn't matter. I'm cursing him. Killing Sal Killed by round 2 knockout. This feels like one of those fights where a finish is happening, as I don't have faith in Anshul Jubilee's toughness here against Killing Sal Killed. The King of the Lions should be dining on fresh meat, not a salad. Or Sal Killed. Killing Sal Killed No Diddy. Zero Diddy. Killing Sal Killed actually has some power in his hands when he can put his combinations together, and he has a longer reach than Jubilee, making him more dangerous on the feet in my view. Jubilee couldn't finish Mike Breeden, and that dude's gone from the UFC. He can take Jubilee down if he wants to, but should break Jubilee over time and eventually TKO him on the ground. Jubilee should return to MMA in India and find greener pastures to roam. Because in the UFC, you will not redeem, sir! Do not redeem the card! Will he redeem the card? We don't know. Will he redeem his career? I don't know.
Wow, we're getting a lot of Jubilee jokes. Jubilee is going to be Tim Hortons owner soon. Isha, I love you. Nobody knows what Tim Hortons is. I know you. Unfortunately, I know what Tim Hortons is because you've told me literally 1,000 times. It's some store in Canada. You don't even live in Canada anymore, dude. Why are you still talking about Tim Hortons? Anyway, sorry. Pulse, what's up? Good to see you. He says, "Is that stash real?"
Yes, I had it fine combed.
Looks just like Paul Felder. Well, there you go.
Oh my God! The guy Contender Series. Wow!
That's not Paul Felder. Doesn't sound anything like that.
Oh, he's coming in with a left and a right. Oh!
Good to see Joe Hogan. That is the worst. I think that's the worst impression you've ever done. Tim Hortons are in the U.S. now. Well, where? Do you have a Tim Hortons anywhere you live?
I didn't even know Tim Hortons existed until
Some
today.
store. I need the link to Quick Trip. Me too. I'm right there with you. Tim Hortons is to Canada as Buc-ee's is to Texas. Okay, fair. It's a coffee chain, and their employees are usually East Indian.
Very specifically East Indian.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I don't think this is a Scott Tenorman. Oh my gosh, they have him. They have Tim Hortons in Bangkok.
Wow.
All right. Anyway,
That's
sorry.
insane.
See, don't mention weird random Canadian stores anymore, Isha.
Be
You're
careful.
just throwing the show off the rails.
Be careful, not in the AM, bro, or I'm turning your parents into chili.
Oh, jeez. Kevin Doucette versus Jonathan Micallef. This is taking place at welterweight. Kevin Doucette 10-3, 4-1 in his last 5. He's minus 240 as the favorite. He is fighting out of New Zealand, but he's French. He is 31. Metcalf, on the other hand, is 7-1-0. I don't know why I said 0. He is 4-1 in his last 5 as well on a 2-fight winning streak, plus 200 as an underdog, 25 years old. So let's look at this guy here. I don't remember this guy. He got a sub on Contender Series. That's promising. Kevin Doucette, go ahead.
Nothing.
No, go ahead.
No. I'm saving that for my analysis. But
okay. Brian Battle knocked out Kevin Doucette in his last fight. What round was that in? Was that like in the 3rd round?
Oh no, that was in the 2nd round. I cannot forget because that was when I was introduced to the great Figueroa Street, and then Brian Battle knocked him out immediately afterwards. And you were like, Hank's gonna like this.
Was that when I showed it on the?
Yes.
On screen? Okay.
There was some point where you're like, oh God, somebody's got something up their ass.
Okay, I remember that. Okay. It was kind of scrappy. It was kind of scrappy.
Getting back.
And Kevin Doucette beat Kiefer Crosby and Kenan Song, who's not a very good fighter. But I think that fight was pretty scrappy against Brian Battle. And Brian Battle, that was in France, huh? And then Brian Battle like went off on the French.
Yeah. Okay, Did you really think the Butcher was gonna lose in a fist fight to a French dude?
All right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go Kevin Doucette here. I'm gonna go by decision. I don't know this UFC newcomer making his UFC debut. Obviously, getting a sub in the Contender Series is something that I think is commendable because a lot of fighters get into the UFC off of just decision wins now in the Contender Series. So, but yeah, I'm gonna fade him in this one. He is quite a bit younger than Kevin Doucette, 6 years younger. But Kevin Doucette having some UFC experience, not against high level guys. Obviously, going up against Battle. Actually, when did he get knocked out by Battle? 4 months ago. Ooh. I never like picking a guy coming off of a knockout that was under 6 months before his last, fight. So that's kind of a bad sign to me. I think I'll still go Kevin Doucette by decision, but I think I'll wait for Hank to kind of break the fight down before I make a solid prediction.
Steal. I'm going with Kevin Doucette by decision as well. Micallef is way worse on the feet than Kevin Doucette. He's slower, and his main specialty is his wrestling. Jonathan Micallef also got knocked out by a 38-year-old fighter on the regional scene before he made it to Contender Series.
Alden Bates and Hex.
Yep. 38-year-old man.
Okay.
Muhammad Otto outstruck Jonathan and took him down at will before he was caught in that triangle on Contender Series as well. If Doucette keeps this fight on the feet, which shouldn't be hard, given Mikolev's grappling is unpredictable in quality. He should beat him up for 3 whole rounds. Jusset by unanimous decision. I hate the nickname Air Jusset, but should get a slam dunk here regardless. And like MVP said, he is the captain now, Mikolev. He is the captain now. So
there you go. I think I'm going to stay with my pick. Isha defending Tim Hortons till the death. It's a big chain.
Beretta?
Okay. Well, how come I've never seen it? I've been to 20 states. I've never seen a Tim Hortons in my entire life.
Oh, that's conversation over right there.
Quickie Mart. Yeah. Okay. A Brazilian company owns it now. Okay. I don't care. I don't care at all. Confident in Jusset here. Brian, don't just fight. Brian, battle. All right. Second round TKO epic speech. Yeah, for sure. That was a good battle. Oh gosh. Jusset decision is free, and he says Jusset is a baguette. Well, I think he trains at CKB, does he not?
Yes, he does. I remember.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
All right. Next fight will be Cody Steele versus Rong Zhu at lightweight. Cody Steele 7-0. Got into the UFC off a knockout. I remember this guy. Looked really good on the Contender Series. 29 years old. Training at Syndicate. Pretty good gym there. Rong Zhu. 25-6. God damn. He got to that. I think he won the road to UFC, and then he got knocked out by Chris Padilla. That was a sick knockout because Chris Padilla elbowed him in the eye, and this was right after Superlek had knocked out old Haggerty right here, and he shouted out Superlek. I remember that. But
he knew.
I will say, Rong Zhu was not looking terrible in that fight before the stoppage, and it did get he didn't get knocked out. They stopped the fight because his eye was like
size of
massive. Yeah, he had a massive hematoma on his head.
So bad I put it on my thumbnail for the recap.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not gonna count out Rong Zhu entirely here. Let's see. He is plus 195 as underdog, minus 240 is Cody Steele. I think Cody Steele, this is his time. I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna go the safe route and pick him by decision. I just think that Rong Zhu has a chance to win. He's very scrappy. He was on a pretty good win streak before. He was in the UFC before, and then got on that long win streak. Got in the road to the UFC. Got back in the UFC. Knocked out by Chris Padilla, who we found out is like pretty damn good striker. I don't think Cody Steele is like the striker that Chris Padilla is. I think he's a pretty well-rounded guy. Am I right?
Yes, he is. He can take people down, and he has good body shots too.
But yeah, I'm gonna give Rong Zhu some credit and say he makes it the distance. But I think both these guys are pretty scrappy, so there is a chance for a knockout, and I'm hoping that there is one. But I'm gonna just go the safe route and say Cody Steele gets it done by decision. His first real UFC test.
Well, don't worry because Hank the Tank is picking Cody Steele by round 2 knockout for you. I'm going with the Steele, man. You are wrong to pick Rong Zhu here if you do. He got outstruck by Chris Padilla. Looked stilted in the cage against him. Has beaten only road to UFC competition. And that competition almost always sucks. Big time. Cody Steele has excellent speed, body work, and even grappling when he needs it. Rong Zhu will be outclassed in at least one area of his game. Honestly, he's just a better version of Chris Padilla. They're even both the same age. They're both like 29 years old, Padilla and Steele.
Rong Zhu is only 24?
What? No. That's
is
gotta
Tapology
be
getting that wrong.
That's got to be fake documents right there.
It says that on Tapology. That could very well be wrong.
That's Chinese birth records right there.
Okay, got you.
But Rong Zhu's offense is bouncing off Cody's balls of steel. No diddy. And then he's eating another taco, KO, in round 2, courtesy of Cody. So, give me the balls of steel. I'm here.
Okay, hold on. Non-Ambro says you could probably Google Tim Hortons and guarantee there's one within 30 miles of you. So the nearest, let me just tell you something. The nearest Tim Hortons, okay, to me, ready, is in Vancouver, British Columbia. If I click on it, he says in 30 miles. He says within 30 miles. It's 631 miles away from me.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Stop with the Tim Hortons.
That's the most Isha moment of all time. The only Horton I care about is Horton gives a hoot.
Yeah. And who gives a hoot about Tim Horton? Cody doing his best Diego Sanchez in that photo. Facts. I sent back my steak sandwich because they gave me the wrong jus with it. Okay. I'm taking Cody, even if it's a dog fight. Okay. Wrong jus is pronounced wrong. Oh, geez.
Wow.
I was close. No, you were not. You were about 600 miles off. Not in the AM, bro.
Boo.
Yeah. All right. Next fight will be Alexandre. Is that how you say it? Alexander? I think Alexander.
Yeah. Alexander
is going to fight a man named Colby Thickness.
This
will take place at bantamweight. By the way, look at this guy's profile pic. What is up with this picture?
He looks like an albino. Looks like powder.
He looks like the. Have you seen that? It was that Alien movie, like with the engineers.
Oh,
yeah,
that Alien.
Anyway. Yeah, it's an Alien. What is that? What is that movie called?
Game
over. Remember. Yeah, it's in the Alien. It's in the Alien world. All right. Well, nobody knows. It's too weird of a reference. Alexander is 5-1. He is 4-1 in his last 5. Minus 410 is the favorite. He is 29 out of Georgia. Obviously, the brother of one Ilya Topuria. On the other side, Colby Thickness is 7-0. Fighting out of Australia, and he is plus 320 as the dog. Let's taking a look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
This guy's on a 3-fight finish streak. That's sick. Fighting in Hex. On the other end, Topuria is on a finish streak himself. Looks like all his last 4 fights, maybe all his fights that he's won by finish, and he got knocked out in his only loss. That was 9 years ago. Why is he taking
injuries?
He hasn't fought in a year and 8 months. Interesting. Okay.
For a while. That's how Ilya was champion first.
I've heard that Alexander looks good in his fights, but he's basically just fought cans. So him being this heavy of a favorite is, you want to do a degenerate parlay. Maybe you put Cody Thickness in there. Yeah. Again, I'm not telling you to bet. I'm not telling you to bet a lot of money on this. Just like, oh God, thank you, Chummy Boy. Prometheus. Gosh,
dude, every freaking character in Prometheus looks like the most pale, like.
Dude, look at thin. He looks like a character on Prometheus. Anyway, but yes, so I don't know what this guy Topuria is going to bring to the UFC. Obviously, having your name attached to Ilya is a good thing. I think that even training with the champ, can raise your confidence, make you a little better. I'm going to just go ahead and pick Topuria here. I'll probably pick him by knockout as well. It seems like this guy wants to scrap, and I'll go with the safe route, 2nd round knockout, hoping that the Topuria brother makes a big splash in the UFC.
Well, I don't think he will, because I'm picking him by decision. Alexandre is actually the older brother of Ilya Topuria, not the younger brother, despite Ilya getting into the UFC before him. Due to a number of injuries and one loss to a roided-up freak on the regionals, slowing his MMA career down initially. Taking on Colby Thickness, a tall, skinny-ass bantamweight. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. This guy needs to move up 2 weight classes so we can get the real Colby Thickness instead of this imposter. Or just change his last name to his nickname, Slickness. Way better in my view. Or Skinniness. Yet another random Australian prospect the UFC's throwing on an Australia card to make a new star in either their guy, or Australia's guy. Won't work. Topuria has better boxing, leg kicks, and wrestling than Colby Covington. Thickness. Just like his older brother, Ilya. Younger brother, Ilya. This dude is well-rounded, but unlike his younger brother, he is El Cazador instead of El Matador. He is the hunter. So once he traps Colby on the ground, it'll be very difficult to get himself free. Well. Looks like the spider's caught himself some flies. Because Thickness is tough and has never lost a fight, I'll pick Alexander to win by decision. But don't be surprised if he gets a finish to kick off his UFC debut. You hear that, Colby? You're next!
Nick's picks KO by the albino brother. I love it. Our next fight will be
Congrats, Andrew.
the return of Miss Kong Wang versus Bruna Brazil at women's flyweight. The Joker Kong Wang is 6-1, 4-1 in her last fight. Lost her last fight via submission. Who was that too? Oh, Gabriela Fernandez.
Yeah.
She is minus 440 despite that. And she is 32. On the other end, you got Bruna Brazil up and down, 10-4-1, 3-2 out of her last 5, plus 340 as the dog. She is 31. So Bruna Brazil obviously had that really cool knockout to get into the Contender Series, and then on the other side, or get into the UFC via Contender Series. On the other side, Kong Wang looked like that chick in her first fight in the UFC. We're all really hyped. She's good on the mic, and then bang, she gets out wrestled and subbed in her last fight, which we were all very heartbroken to see. With that being said, I think this will largely be a striking match. If Bruna Brazil has some fight IQ, I think she can switch it up and make it a wrestling match and probably, get the dub. But you know what? Unfortunately, I'm gonna ride with Kong Wang here. I'm gonna ride with Kong Wang. I think she's that chick. I'm gonna pick her by knockout. I know, crazy, right? I'm gonna pick her by knockout. I'm gonna pick her by knockout in the second round. I think that these ladies are gonna scrap. Don't quote me on that though. It might just go to a decision. It is a women's fight, so
yeah. Unfortunately, I'm going with that route. I'm picking Kong Wang by decision. Bruno Brazil is on again, off again, on again, off again in her last 5 fights. And in her most recent fight, she won. And therefore, she will lose this one against Kong Wang. One against frickin' Molly McCann as well. What a great win. Also, a strawweight moving up is Bruna Brazil, which won't benefit her main skill in her wrestling. On the feet, she's slower, shorter, and less powerful than the flyweight that took Wang out, Gabriela Fernandez. And Kong Wang isn't Molly McCann. At least I hope not. If Wang knows anything about her opponent, she will have solid takedown defense and beat Bruno up on the feet. If tiny-ass Loma Lookbunmi can do it, Wang Gang can do it too. Be careful about fortune cookie. They always crumble. He's not getting a finish until I see her get a finish, though. So she just bullies Bruna Brazil for 3 rounds to score a unanimous decision win.
Yeah, Loma knockout. Yeah,
she
knocked out Victoria Leonardo, who is kind of an old prospect. But by the way, when is Loma Lookbunmi going to fight again?
Yeah, I want her to, dude. She's awesome. Atomweight queen, besides Seika Izawa.
Yeah, nobody can match the awesome prowess in the ring that Seika Izawa brings. But that's a topic for another card. Tom Nolan versus Vyacheslav Borshov. This is taking place at lightweight. Tom Nolan 8-1. He is 4-1 in his last 5. This is a pick'em right here. Damn near plus 115. So actually, Tom Nolan is the dog. He's fighting out of Brisbane. He's 24. Vyacheslav Borshov, on the other hand, 8-4-1. He is 2-2-1 in his last 5, fighting out of Russia, but training with Uriah Faber at Team Alpha Male in Sacktown. He's 33. So, man, Vyacheslav Borshov, guy's always in an awesome fight. I love watching this dude fight. Known for getting some sick knockouts, known for getting knocked out himself. Subbed by Chase Hooper in his last loss. Went to decision with Lawn Top, I believe, by split. He got the dub. I feel like this would be a striking match. I feel like the kicks of Vyacheslav Borshov could, edge out the win for him. Tom Nolan, though, is an interesting guy because he's 6'3" at lightweight, kind of a big guy for the division. I like Tom Nolan, but I don't know, man. There's just something about him that I don't know quite what it is.
He's wonky, and he's not all that defensively sound.
Yeah, very sloppy. Yes, and just in for a scrap. So I think there's a chance that Borshov catches him. One thing you got to remember is that Tom Nolan is 9 years younger than Borshov.
Yikes.
And apparently Borshev is a kickboxing world champion. That's unverifiable. If you watch Rush City today, they were talking about that, and I was like, dude, how come like almost every fighter now that's a striker,
He's a kickboxing champion.
yeah, he's a kickboxing champion. It's like, okay,
what else?
like,
is new? The sky
yeah.
is blue.
Anyway, so despite that, I'm gonna go with Tom Nolan here, and I'm gonna pick him by knockout.
Wow.
And I'm gonna go first round knockout for Tom Nolan.
Damn.
I know, it's crazy, but I don't know, man. You know what? I like Tom Nolan. He's a young dude. I'm just saying he's making improvements. He's fighting in his hometown. I'm gonna ride with Tom Nolan, but you know what? I think that the odds are pretty correct for this fight. Having Vyacheslav Borshev as like a slight favorite, that makes sense to me. But I'll go with Tommy Boy to get it done here.
I'm going with Borshev by round 3 knockout on Tom Nolan. Tom Nolan has the nickname Big Train, already slandering the great Nate by trying to bite his nickname. Disgraceful! He also has worse striking defense than Slava Claus, in spite of his height and reach advantages. Slava Claus's losses only seem to come as a result of him succumbing to wrestlers who mix in their feinted takedowns with their striking. How Chase Hooper beat him. Other than that, he's made it competitive and come close to winning against pretty much every stand-up only fighter put in front of him, including it was Nazim Sadikov. He went to a majority draw with him. That was super impressive as well. Tom Nolan will make it dangerous for Slava early in the fight, but as it goes on, Nolan will look more tired and loosey-goosey. And that's when Borshev's making him pay on the feet and putting together combinations in the pocket that knock the head on his tall frame all around. I value Borshev's striking enough even to say that he finds a finish near the very end of the fight when Nolan's hurt and exhausted. 3rd round TKO with Slava Claus knocking the Big Train over with his sleigh. Hey! 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 Hey!
The Russian did. You know what? I like that. If it's early, if you think it's gonna go end early, I think Tom Nolan is the pick. If you think it's gonna go into the later rounds, I like that. I think Vyacheslav Borshev, the advantage leans to him. Let's check out some comments. When is Chad opening an Alpha Male in Boise? So funny thing about Chad is he actually trains at a gym right by the skate park downtown. Actually, it's called SBG Boise.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Brian Faber, dude. He's a skateboarder, bro.
No, this is Chad Mendes.
Oh, definitely Chad Mendes.
So, and I'm like, why is there a gym named SBG in Boise? Anyway, Chris Cushman says he's picking Nolan. There you go. Kickboxing champions get paid less than a salary man. That's why. Yeah, wow. But actually, I mean, most martial arts you have to pay to fight and travel in the amateurs. So I don't understand this whole kickboxing, because like, remember they're like Loner Kavanaugh is a 5-time K1 champion. It's like, what? But then I have also heard that like in a lot of areas in the world they just call any kickboxing K1 because it's like K1 rules. But I digress. Uncle Chael covered the world champion, just promoters putting up belts that mean nothing. Yeah, but I just still think it's weird. Like kickboxing champion, like what does that mean? Anyway, where does Kevin Lee fit in all this? Anyway, Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. This is taking place at featherweight. Jack Jenkins is 4-1 in his last 5. He is 13-3 losses, plus 190 as the dog. He's 31, fighting out of Australia. On the other end, you have Gabriel Santos, 11-2 is his record. He is 3-2 in his last 5, and minus 230 as the favorite. He is 28. Gabriel Santos, I've seen him fight. He beat the RZA, the Jizza, the Yizza in his last fight. Yeah, 4 months ago. What is Gabriel Santos about? Is he a striker?
Yeah, primarily, but he can get the takedowns when he wants to, and that's
okay.
He's got a good game.
Okay, and then I remember watching Jack Jenkins' last fight. Poor Herbert Burns.
God.
Oh my God.
I hate it.
Yeah. Oh fuck, poor Herbert. But then he lost to Chepe Mariscal. No shame in that. Jamal Emmers and Don Shane he beat, which Don Shane is another bum.
Boom.
So I don't know. Really, this fight's interesting to me. I think it's interesting that Santos is like such a big favorite on the odds. I feel like Jack Jenkins. This guy has a lot of heart. Fights crazy. I really don't even know what to pick in this fight because I don't know these two well enough. Gabriel Santos 5'9", reach of 70 inches, 5'7". So Santos a little bit bigger. Man, you kind of want to go with the younger guy just based off of not knowing much about him. I want to pick Jack Jenkins. I feel like he is a little more scrappy, but almost sounds like Gabriel Santos might have more tools, but I don't know. I'll let Hank break this down because he did more research than I did.
Yeah, I'm going with Santos by decision. I after that performance against Herbert Burns, where literally he got the knockout via Burns not being able to get back up, like literally, like he knocked him down, and then Herbert's like, ugh, and then he I think that just told me that Jack Jenkins won't be able to really like hurt Gabriel Santos in this fight. Most of his offense comes through leg kicks. That's how he was able to win a split decision against Jamal Emmers, which was actually quite controversial. A lot of people thought that Emmers won that fight. Honestly, the only fight I thought he looked good in was against Chep Mariscal, and that was before Mariscal just slammed him and broke his freaking arm. And then it took him 3 rounds to finish Herbert Burns, so I just can't trust him to have the power advantage in this fight. Whereas Gabriel Santos beat Yiza, and then he went after Rizza when he released his new album, and then he said that Liquid Swords was a terrible album. That was blasphemy right there. Yeah, took out the whole Wu-Tang Clan. They were nothing to F with, and he F'd them up. He F'd the Wu-Tang Clan up. And he's only lost via finish to David Onama. That was the cringy finish where Onama was like, oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. Uppercut. I'm Izzy. Hey, guys, I'm Izzy. There's that one. And then he went to a split decision with Lerone Murphy, who is now ranked at featherweight. And that's pretty damn impressive. He's only had one real loss, and that was to David Onama via fluke uppercut. So I think he's really solid. I think he can implement his wrestling here on Jack Jenkins. That's how Jenkins has lost his previous fights. And I just think he's very well-rounded. I think he's better technically. He has better punching power. He's better at the stand-up besides the leg kicks than Jack Jenkins. I just don't think that Jack Jenkins is going to out-leg kick Santos to a decision win. So give me Santos to implement some grappling and win this thing.
I'm going to look up their stats on Fight Matrix because I'm curious about something. Go ahead and read some comments.
All right. Let's go through it. Hank has a mustache. Yep. Always have. I don't know what you're talking about, Amberly. Definitely stash power.
It's not anything new.
That's why I'm going to win these picks. Good Noodle Live with 3 viewers playing Among Us in silence. Make fun of him for him, Hank. Hey, Good Noodle. Looks like we got more views than you, brother. And hey, Giuliano, Amberly. Hey, yo, what's up? Amberly, where? Hey, baby girl, sweet.
Dude, hold on. I called Good Noodle Michael Sarah, and he he blocked me in No Chill's chat for it. And then we got into a heated argument on No Chill's chat.
Wow.
Because he said I was being soy. He said I soyed out. So I messed with him. But you know what? I have no beef with Good Noodle. I don't want to say anything bad about the guy. Shout out to Good Noodle.
Yeah, shout out to him and his 3 viewers. Yo, you two with the professional stashes. Yes, we're men. We're men. We can actually grow facial hair, unlike some people. Mastakilla had his number. Yes, Mastakilla did have his number. Not even a proper Benjamin. Hi, Giuliano. Yes, and that was a nice profile pic from Amberly Rose. She changed it. Hola, folks. Hello, Amberly. Definitely. And Lele, formerly known as Lane.
Good to see you, Giuliano.
Definitely lean Santos here, but will likely go to Australia if it goes to the scorecard, in my opinion. Hello, Western Mass Climber. I was talking about Jack. He was saying, Jack's quality. He's got the mustache too. Damn, I should have picked Jenkins. Santos can't strike defensively. Wait, can't strike defense. So he can't counter well. He's got a solid enough striking defense. Yo, Amberly, been a minute. Hope you're well. All right, cool. Giuliano's here. Hello, Giuliano.
So Giuliano, I'm looking at their stats. They're like pretty similar in their stats. targeting is pretty similar. The only difference is it looks like Santos is the much more accurate striker.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. You know what? I think that I've been convinced. I think I'm going to change my pick to Santos.
No.
Oh no! I don't want you to beat me in Tapology.
It's true.
Anyway, all right. Next fight
Steeler.
will be Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado at welterweight. Jake Matthews, 20-7. Damn. He is 3-2 in his last 5, up and down, win loss. Fighting out of Australia, he is -220 as the favorite. 30 years old. Francisco Prado, 12-2. 3-2 in his last 5 as well, plus 180 as the underdog. He is Argentinian, fighting out of Florida. He's 22. It says that Francisco Prado is 5'10", and Matthews is 5'11", but look at that. He's at 4-inch reach advantage, just Jacob Matthews. So in Francisco Prado's last fight, he lost to Daniel Zellhuber. That was a sick fight. That was in the Sphere, was it? No, it wasn't. Amina Zaitar, he knocked out. Oh gosh, lost a decision to Jamie Malarkey. Okay, this is not the guy I'm thinking of. Who am I thinking that this guy is? I swear there's like an
Argentinian. It's Esteban Rigovic or something.
Okay, with that being said, his only knockout in the UFC is the Amina Zaitar. Oh my gosh.
Pato Merchant.
Losing to Daniel Zellhuber, not the worst loss, but you lost to Jamie Malarkey, bro. On the other side, dude, Jake Matthews has been in the UFC a long time, and he's 30. Seems like he's still a young dude. Beat Phil Rowe, lost to Michael Morales. No shame in that. Submitted Darius Flowers. Lost to Semmelsberger when Semmelsberger was still pretty good, and knocked out Fiallo. Damn, both these guys kind of suck. I'm going to go Matthews. I'm going to go Matthews by knockout. Wow. Because I think this fight is going to be a scrap. Give me Matthews by knockout. Francisco Prado, why am I thinking he's like some knockout artist?
I think there's some guy named Francisco Trinaldo, I think.
No, I'm thinking of some other guy.
Or is
anyway,
it
I'm gonna go with Jake Matthews. It says that Francisco Prado is like 1 inch smaller than him, but Jake Matthews is a huge dude. Not only that, he just has more UFC experience, been in the UFC a long time. I think that he's hitting his stride now, even though he is up and down in the UFC. Give me Jake Matthews by knockout. Second round.
Nice. I'm going with Matthews by decision. Francisco Prado was taken down and controlled by Jamie Malarkey. And if you think I am lying, there it is, right there. Unanimous decision, 15-5. Took him down easy. Only loses to established strikers. Prado certainly isn't one of them. Jamie Malarkey only loses to established strikers. He also showed off his wrestling ability against Phil Rowe. He can easily do the same here against Prado and even outpoint him at range on the feet. I just don't think that Prado's that high caliber of talent. And Prado won't be proud of this performance when the Celtic kid puts an Irish curse on his career. So I just think Jake Matthews he can use his takedowns when he wants to. And I think that's going to win the whole thing. It's been a while since we've seen him get a finish. Yeah,
that's true. Our next fight will be Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. Oh, hey, what's up, Chatterhead? Good to see you, man. He says,
hey.
Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato at light heavyweight. The Brute, Jimmy Crute, 12-4-1. Geez, man. 1 win, 3 losses, and what was this? A majority draw against Alonzo Metafield?
Yeah, and then Alonzo immediately kicked his ass in the rematch.
That's right, in the rematch. He's 28 out of Melbourne. Rodolfo Bellato, on the other hand, on a 4-fight win streak, he is 12-2. And his career, he is -140 as the slight favorite. His last, was I thinking of Vitor? No, I don't know. Anyway, he got knocked out by Vitor Petrino on the Contender Series. Since then, he got a win in LFA. Got 2 wins in LFA. Knocked out some dude to get into the UFC on Contender Series. Then he knocked out everybody's favorite fighter, Ihor Potieria.
How is he still in the UFC?
I don't know, dude. I know this fight will probably end in a finish. Jimmy Crute has looked good at times, but I mean, when you think about it, like in my opinion, I know that Hank has his thoughts on Ryan Spann. Lost to Anthony Smith, kind of a fluky knockout. Am I right? It was just a perfect pick by Smith that got him out of there.
Yeah.
Got knocked out by Jamal Hill. And then since then he took a long layoff, had that weird fight with Alonzo, and then got subbed by him. So I say that just to be like, hey, you know, Jimmy Crute hasn't lost to like the worst guys.
The worst. Yeah.
In the UFC. You know, guys ranked. He's lost to ranked guys. Adolfo Bellato looking for his first like really solid win. I mean, you beat Euro Bateria. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Jimmy Crute
so I think this fight will be scrappy. I think that this will end in a finish. The question is who? You got two big guys throwing bombs. Let me see. How old is... I just read it. 28 and 29. See, that's the thing. Is Jimmy Crute, clearly he's had some injuries. Yeah. And he took some layoffs. And he hasn't fought in a year and a half.
He's not good in
so you wonder what he's been up to. Like, has he been improving?
He's been doing
I want to go Adolfo Bellato here. I want to go Adolfo by KO. But I think, though it's going to be scrappy and it's going to be a banger, there's a chance, because light heavyweight sucks and everybody knows it. There's a chance this fight goes to the decision. And then if it does, I don't really know. But don't bet on this fight. Light heavyweights suck, and you never know really how it's going to go. So yeah, but give me Bellato round 2 knockout.
Very wise pick from Idaho, because I'm going with the exact same prediction. I'm picking Rodolfo Bellato by round 2 knockout. Jimmy hasn't fought a fight in 4 years. He also considered retirement.
It was a year and a half before his last fight.
No, I mean Jimmy hasn't won a fight in 4 years. He considered retirement after Alonzo Menefield submitted him easily, found God, so he could come back to fighting. So he came back to fighting. We'll definitely see God after Rodolfo Bellato knocks him out cold, in my opinion. Bellato isn't that intimidating on the feet until he is. He was dropped by Ihor Bateria, of all people, but then came back.
He was dropped by him?
Yeah. Fuck. But then came back with a resounding ground and pound TKO. Jimmy will look solid in round 1, but then the overwhelming pressure game and dogfight nature of Bellato's style will start to tire him out and hurt him until he gives up and gets finished, like against on-paper Anthony Smith, Jamal Salty Nightmares Hill, and literal one-hitter quitter Alonzo Menefield against Carlos Olberg. That only took him 5 seconds. The Tractor's going to bulldoze the Brute within 2 rounds once Crute mentally quits inevitably. So give me him by second round knockout.
God, how bad is this division?
Really bad. Really bad. How is Jimmy Crute still in the UFC?
This is the main card, is it not?
Yep, sure is. Enjoy your pay-per-view fight, folks.
Look at this glaze session by Omaha's own Nick. Lionheart had his number. Lionheart had Petrino's number too. No fluke. Just the best Omaha beef KO there was to offer.
Hey, Charlie Brunson, there's a position open for the Believe You Me podcast if you want to fill it.
I saw that, dude. Anthony Smith ghosted Michael Bisping and then started his own podcast, and it's called On Paper with Anthony Smith.
That's actually a really solid podcast name, to be fair. That would a betrayal to Michael Bisping.
Don't be fair to Anthony Smith. That's what Nick's here for. If it goes to the cards and it's close in Australia, you know how it's going to lean. Interesting. I feel like when Smith actually does a camp and say, okay, wait, you know what? I'm not talking about Anthony Smith. Sorry. Bum-infested main card. I like Adolfo.
He's going to beat Crute, Idaho.
Crute had drop foot and still ragdolled Smith. That's not how I remember the fight going.
Wow.
Noodle makes a good point right now in his live stream. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. I hope his 3 viewers got his grip.
Oh, come on, dude. We've had 3 viewers before, dude.
Yeah, that's true. But he made fun of my stream, so I get to make fun of him when he's not around. He did the same to me.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
Turnabout's fair play.
Shout out to Good Noodle. Shout out to Good Noodle. Our next fight will be Taliesin Teixeira versus Justin Tafa at heavyweight.
Worth the price.
Taliesin got his knockout in the Contender Series 4 months ago. He is 7-0, minus 155 as the fave. He is 25, 6'7". Damn, no wonder his name is Tallison. How did they know he was going to be tall before he was born? Anyway, Justin Taffa, on the other hand, is 7-4. What was this one? Right, this get turned into an unintentional eye poke.
Yes, and then they had the rematch, and then he immediately knocked out Lane.
Okay, yeah, that's right, because Lane was a newcomer. Or no, Lane is that guy who fought Yonata Denise. I remember that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but look at this, dude. He's knocked out Harry Hunsucker, Parker Porter, Austin Lane, and then he lost to Carl Williams. He got out wrestled by Carl Williams. Damn, man. Looking at that, I think Parker Porter is a decent fighter. Austin Lane, not so much. He's a brawler. Dude, I want to pick Tallison in this fight.
Wow.
I want to pick him by first round knockout. But
all right.
I have no idea what's gonna happen in this fight, dude. Because Justin Taffa and his brother Junior Taffa both suck.
Junior.
I don't know. I have no analysis for this fight. It could be a sick fight where they just scrap and somebody goes down in the first round. It could also be a really terrible fight where nothing happens and it goes to decision. So,
God,
I don't even know what to pick here.
Junior's fight.
Just going to go with Tallison by knockout.
And I'm going with Taffa by knockout in round 1. Tallison Teixeira's nickname, Zicao, is based on a Brazilian hip-hop artist, but he'll have more than his records getting scratched up when he deals with the power and speed of Justin Taffa. Taffa lost to a pretty much standalone wrestler in Carl Williams, and with Teixeira's tall frame and power, I don't think he's the wrestling type. Taffa's very good at making fights chaotic and getting through his opponent's guard. And Teixeira nearly got finished by Arthur Lopez within a minute of action on Contender Series. Taffa's hurting Teixeira and then finishing the job once he figures out the range, because he's a bad man. And look at that spruce mustache he's got on him, just like me in Idaho right here. So give me the better Taffa to chin the worst Teixeira in round 1. And there you have it.
Skate and Hank got Taffa stash now, yeah. Yeah, and Hanks is fully
Caterpillar crawling around us.
They are Taffas now. What? Heard Tallison does not train with heavyweights. Could be a concern. Yeah, definitely. I'm picking Taffa. I still got him by KO. Parker Porter last weekend in BAKFC. Did you see that fight?
Go Parker Porter.
I don't know the other guy. So I'm picking Taffa until I actually look better. Okay, got you. Justin just slightly less than Junior. Tallison is a beast. Taffa has a square head. He does have a square head. Good observation. Brazilian hip hop artist sounds wild.
Cylinder.
Oh, what? What? Oh,
a little bit of cylinder.
Orobgata. Right, the longest bars in history. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
So the Xiao is his nickname. It's based off a Brazilian hip hop artist. So that's
okay. Gotcha.
Weird.
Taffa's wish they were half the fighters Mark Hunt was. Word.
Probably gotta write the longest bars in history to try and tell their story. Oh yeah. I got stabbed when I was 2, and then 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
All right. Well, the next fight for the UFC Strawweight Championship will be Weili versus Tatiana Suarez. Weili is 25-3, 4-0 in her last 5. Her last loss was to Rose by split decision. I thought she got knocked out by her too. Anyway, she is minus 120.
That was the rematch. They had the first fight, and Rose knocked her out in the first.
Right.
The second that had a split decision loss.
And I thought Weili won that one. She is 35. She's 5'4", 63-inch reach. Tatiana Suarez undefeated. Obviously had that really long layoff, but she's 10-0. 34 is Suarez, and she is 5'5" with a 66-inch reach. Ah, man, dude, this fight, I've been going back and forth on this fight. You know, because, okay, but if this was before, or like if the Yan Zhao fight hadn't gone how it went,
right,
I'd be like, dude, Weili's got this. She got this locked up. Yeah, but then we saw Weili, I guess, in a vulnerable position.
Mhm.
Also, Rose Namajunas made the grappling very competitive with Weili. You got to think Tatiana Suarez is going to have better wrestling than
Mhm.
Rose.
Absolutely.
That's her entire game. So
And Esparza too.
So I think if you're if you're leaning Tatiana in this fight, go with her by decision. Possible late round, like 5th round, 4th round sub. It's a tough one, man. I think the odds are reflective of that. I'm gonna just go with Weili. She got better striking than Tatiana.
Good for you.
She got a lot better striking than Tatiana. Just the wrestling is where I get concerned, and I think this fight does go to decision. So a good chance that Weili takes the L here. But also, like, you know what? We'll talk about this after you break it down. The implications of this title fight here. So go ahead and give us your pick. I got Weili by decision.
You know, if the girl says no, the answer is obviously no, but she's not going to say no because of the implication. Anyway, it sounds like you want to. I don't want to hurt these women. I don't want to hurt these women. Anyway,
Just saying the implication.
Yeah.
You saying you're gonna hurt these women? No, I'm just saying there's like an element of danger.
I'm on the board. What you gonna do? Say no? That sounds.
Shout out
really
to It's Always Sunny.
Yeah. Tools. Anyway, I got Tatiana Suarez by round 3 submission. Pains me to have to do this, but no more Zhang Gang this time. Tatiana Suarez is taller, has longer legs and arms, and is a wrestler to boot. Zhang Weili hasn't faced a strawweight fighter even close to her type since the Cookie Monster, Carla Esparza. And she was old and way tinier at the time they fought for the belt. Suarez.
Dude, Weili just bullied Carla. And Weili's like so fit and so much more athletic than half the division.
Crazy athletic. That's that Chinese freaking training right there is what made her a freaking champion. Anyway, she was way older and tinier than Zhang Weili. Suarez is going to get Zhang down at some point in this fight and then wrap her up like a spider with a caught fly. Cookie! Wearing the smaller fighter down until she eventually relents and gives up the choke. I'm thinking round 3 rear naked choke or arm triangle. Magnum PI's run has unfortunately come to an end here. No more handsome! But, you know, we can always rewatch Magnum PI.
So,
mustaches.
I want to talk about, like, imagine Tatiana becomes champion, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When is she ever going to fight again?
God, she's probably going to take her a year.
She's going to try. I know she'll try, but, like, I don't think this would be good for the division. And again, I'm not saying, like, Weili's the best champion for the division. Because she's...
Potential counterpoint, Zhang Weili was gone for almost a year. When people were like, hey, when is she going to fight, Tatiana Suarez? When's that going to happen? They're like, wait, dude, is Zhang Weili the champion right now? Like, I was reading messages like that. And then they want, her versus Yan Xiaonan too, after she gets that win. And they're like, what the fuck is going on with Zhang Weili's reign right now? So it seems like with strawweight, they're just not, they're booking the champ like shit no matter who they are. But it's guaranteed that Tatiana's going to be gone for a while.
Yeah, and all the injuries, the long layoffs. Also, take into consideration how bad Tatiana looked in her last fight. I know she got the win. I know she got the sub. But so I'm saying physically, like, she just looked really out of shape. Now, this is a championship fight. Biggest fight of her life. I don't think she'll be out of shape for this one.
No.
I just have questions on where Tatiana is at in her career. But you know what, man? I do think it's a very high possibility that Tatiana just smokes her on the ground. But I got a lot of faith in Weili. I think she gets it done. As far as like her being inactive, that is an interesting point you bring up, and I can't answer. Like, I don't even really have any thoughts on like why she was so inactive. I just don't know what Suarez is all about. Like, I don't even know.
She's a woman of mystery.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know if it'd be good for the division if she actually became the champion.
But I know who it would be good for. USA.
We've got... I thought Tatiana was pregnant last year.
She was.
Okay. Let's go Weili. Weili's grappling has definitely gotten better over the last few years.
That's true. Won't help her here.
Good to see Anakin. Lane's got Weili by decision. Anakin says, "Don't sleep on Suarez. She has great subs." You would have thought she was Russian from the Caucasus Mountains. Whaley definitely got some stuff on her. Her neck got thick. Yeah, they're all on steroids. Whaley is a good champ. Betting Whaley, but I'll be happy if Suarez gets it. And I think if Suarez gets it in the way we think she is, it'll
that'd be a good moment. I mean, that's the way that you want the championship reign to end, right? Oh, she finished her passing of the car. But at the same time, I'm the biggest Zhang Weili fan. She is still my favorite female fighter of all time. So I'm going to be rooting for her regardless.
Besides Seika Izawa.
Yes. She destroyed Weili's anger.
Yeah, 100%. Tatiana couldn't finish Nina. Oh.
Got some good
I
angles.
feel unsure about Tatiana. Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's break this down. This is really the meat and potatoes of this card right here. It is DDP versus Sean Strickland. DDP 22-2, undefeated in the UFC, right? Never lost a fight in the UFC. Pretty sure that's correct.
Oh yes, Dricus.
Minus 210 is the favorite out of South Africa. He's 31. 6'1" and a 76-inch reach for both men in this fight. Sean Strickland, on the other hand, is 29-6. He is 4-1 in his last 5. His last loss was the DDP by split decision, and that was literally exactly a year ago. 33 years old is Sean Strickland. He is plus 170 as the underdog. I think that's fair. DDP looked really good since their fight. He obviously beat Strickland, and he looked really good in that fight with Izzy. And then Strickland, his last win was Costa. Oh my god, I can't believe I picked Paulo Costa to beat Sean Strickland. Anyway,
that's killing me. Hey, we still went to a split, so maybe you were one of the judges.
I know. I made money betting on a split decision too.
Yeah.
Anyway, so obviously their last fight extremely close. I thought that Sean Strickland had won their last fight. I thought that, more importantly, even whoever you thought won, most important thing is that it was a Sean Strickland fight, and in that I mean it was Sean Strickland setting the pace. It was a slower pace, that Sean Strickland's more accustomed to. Strickland and Curtis have this way of like making the fight back and forth, fighting on their terms, walking you down.
Don't trust
I love DDP because he's this champion that you don't know what is going to happen. He can lose at any second, but he just somehow finds a way to get it done.
Rocky Marciano.
I don't know, man. I really don't even know what this fight's going to look like. If it's their last fight, probably goes to another close decision, and that's all I can really think of happening right now. And you know what? And before their last fight happened, I said, dude, DDP is going to just run through Sean Strickland and knock him out. And then their fight ended up looking the way it did. So
yeah,
I'm out on this fight. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am going to lean DDP. I'm going to pick him by decision, but Sean Strickland could win. Also, he's been totally insane in the build-up to this fight.
Yeah. But what else is new at the same time? I'm going with Dricus du Plessis by decision as well. What has convinced me to pick Dricus is that Sean did a video of himself saying, I don't want to frickin' wrestle with you, DDP. Let's just keep it on the feet, dude. Let's just stand. And that tells me he doesn't really like the wrestling, and he's still not completely accustomed to the wrestling. Hey, he might be tricking DDP playing 4D chess with us. He might have the slickest takedown defense and just wait for a moment for Dricus to shoot a takedown. But something tells me we're just going to just have the same Sean Strickland pressure forward, keep at a distance, throw the 1-2, have a moment where you should, get more damage off and then don't do it, Whereas Dricus is a pressure fighter who's just doesn't matter how he throws it or when he throws it, he's going to throw. And I think Dricus is intelligent enough that he could find a way to feint the takedowns into hooks and do, switch it up a little bit. I think it's more likely that Dricus switches his style up in this fight than it is that Strickland switches up his style in this fight.
When have we ever seen Sean Strickland switch his style up? The only time he ever looked different in a fight was when he knocked out Abus Magomedov.
Yes. and that jab, dude, that jab put him out cold. That jab shut the lights. He's got freaking little nails in his knuckles with that one. But I don't think he will. against Dricus du Plessis. I just got a feeling that Dricus is going to shoot way earlier in this fight than he did the first time around because, hey, it's the Kevin Holland rule, right? Hey, man, don't shoot any takedowns on me in round 1. And then what do? You immediately shoot the takedown. And that's what Dricus should do. And
Yeah, but I mean, DDP is an RDR.
Yeah, yeah. But he's somehow better and somehow worse than RDR at the same time.
No, it's so weird.
Yeah,
that's why I love DDP, dude. You think he's gonna lose? Like he looks like he can lose at any moment, but he just figures out a way to get it done. Gotta love that guy.
The funniest thing would be if Strickland hit him with a jab. Oh, it rocked DDP, and then Sean comes forward. Oh, big right hand from Dricus puts Sean out. Oh my god, that'd be the funniest thing ever.
I mean, okay, wait. With that being said, like, what do you want to see for the outcome of this fight?
It sucks because God, I enter Strickland interviews every time thinking this is the interview where I'm going to turn on him. This is the one where it's just like,
you love Sean Strickland.
He's gone too far. He said the wrong thing. But I'll tell you what, and Strickland said it himself. He ain't no Bryce Mitchell, brother. And stuff about corporations is true.
That's a really
corporations is true.
That's a really low bar to set.
Yeah, and he said it, and Sean actually said that. Thing I love about Bryce Mitchell, he sets the bar either really high or really low. So he's somewhere in the middle. So, and I don't know. I just can't help it, man. Sean's, if you listen to him long enough, he's a likable guy. And you got to say, he's
not. I've listened to him plenty of times. He's not a likable guy at all.
He's at the very least honest and in a very strange way. He's schizo, but at least he's honest. So for that reason, I don't know, man. I'm torn. I'm torn once again because I like Dricus even more now that he's become middleweight Dominic Cruz and is just making everybody cry during press conferences and build-ups to fight. So I just hope neither guy gets knocked out. That's my main outcome that I want in this one.
So with that being said, I hope that DDP does what I thought he was going to do in the first fight and just runs through him and just knocks him out.
I mean, that'll be a great moment. That'll solidify him as a champion. So,
but also, I guess like for the UFC, what would be the best option? Because I think Hamzat versus DDP is a sick fight. Because I feel like Hamzat just takes down Sean Strickland and subs him in a round.
But that being said, do you feel like Strickland versus Hamzat is more marketable or DDP versus Hamzat?
Depends on where you put it.
Yeah. If they actually go to South Africa.
Why would they ever go to South Africa?
They never will.
Look at Dana's a liar, dude.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing Spain. Yeah, that's right. We're doing Spain, guys.
When?
In 2020.
Yeah, I feel like DDP versus Hamzat, which by the way, when you said honesty, Strickland is absolutely right when he talks about Hamzat, just like, and exactly for the reasons he said in his post-fight scrum.
Yeah, say what you will. The dude just exposes shitty people for being shitty. He is.
Yeah, I still don't have to like him.
Hey, shitty knows shitty. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Facts. All right, let's read some comments. Yeah, there's a lot. I thought Sean won that last fight. I did understand after they explained the need for more MMA switch up. I still gave it to Sean. DDP gonna hit Sean Waltman with the diamond cutter 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. The diamond cutter.
What does that mean?
Before there was Dricus du Plessis, there was Diamond Dallas Page in WCW hitting the RKO.
Oh gosh. Okay. Let's RKO.
Diamond cutter.
As much as I don't like Strickland, I think he pulled it out. Yeah, dude. Everybody thought he won. Like I don't know a single person that actually thought DDP won that fight. Yeah. But you got to admit the fight was close. Very close. I just think 3 rounds for Strickland. I mean, it was a Strickland fight. Is the pace and everything.
Listen, and we should also talk about this whole fallout from the first fight, because I think if Strickland had been given his rematch before the Izzy fight, I don't think people would be as mad at Sean Strickland as they are right now, because he had his little Costa fight that was rotten. People
was that even a fight?
Performance. Yeah, he was whining about his title shot, and if he'd have kept the mentality, I'm waiting until I get my title fight, and then they actually gave it to him instead of Israel Adesanya, I don't think people would have had a problem. But they chose to have him fight someone else, and then it kept on going, and then Whitaker gets in the mix, and Hamzat destroys Whitaker, and now you sort of hate Sean because now he gets his title shot.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, who hates Sean Strickland for getting this fight?
You'd be surprised at the amount of people on Twitter that really wanted another title fight other than this one.
Well, good thing those people are really dumb. Just like Amberly says, I think Bryce isn't that bad. He's just really dumb. Yeah. Strickland is like the guy you work with that gets one thing right on the job and lives on that legacy. Yeah, facts. Bryce took down to
Jesus, and then
DDP versus Hamza International Fight Week. I would love that if Hamza can actually get in the country. South Africa is in shambles. Yeah. When do your shifts at the firefighter department start? We're on call.
We got to call Stipe.
I thought DDP won because he definitely won. Okay. Wow. Well, that's true. Okay.
There you go.
He did definitely win the fight. DDP won round 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Sean 135. What?
1, 3, and
I celebrated. I celebrated DDP. Oh, okay. I celebrated DDP win that night. I don't care. Yeah.
South African gear.
Round 3 is a big question. There's plenty that I don't like. There's plenty that don't like Sean getting the title fight after having a horrible fight with Costa. I mean, to me, it's like, dude, it's a year ago. Like, and it was a close fight. This is definitely warranted. He got a win over Costa, who
he does deserve it. Yeah. I'm just saying there was a lot of politicking, a lot of people who wanted Whitaker, and I think that soured things.
Yeah, I think, I mean, clearly, like, I was confused at the booking because
me too.
Lying Dana White himself said Hamzat's next, and then they booked Strickland. And it's like, okay. Yeah. This should be Hamzat's fight, in my opinion. I know people don't agree with me there.
See,
to me, it's
if you're gonna get mad, be mad at the matchmakers, not at Sean. He's gonna do what he's gonna do to get a title fight.
Yeah. All right, man. What else you want to say about this weekend?
Wednesday we have some very special surprises for you guys, so stay tuned because we are doing something revolutionary.
Is that going to be live?
I got no clue. We'll see.
I don't think it's going to be live, so it might not come out Wednesday.
Yeah, might not, but stay tuned because we will be cooking up some good. Yo, Mr. White. Oh God. Yo, Mr. White, this is the bomb, yo. That's right, Jesse. God damn it, where are my glasses? I am the one who knocks. We're gonna be cooking. We're gonna be cooking some good stuff for you guys in our trailer out in Arizona. So stay tuned on Wednesday.
That was New Mexico, wasn't it?
New Mexico. Yeah, in our little Winnebago or whatever it's called.
Okay. So are you gonna do the think tank and a tier list this week?
I'm gonna do the think tank on Thursday.
Okay,
I'm gonna have the think tank on Thursday and then tier list maybe next week.
Cool. That'll give us a lot of prep time for our special segment we're
sir.
Coming out with. And then Friday, are you doing a fight companion?
Yes. Saturday, I will be doing my fight companion for you.
Friday.
Wait, it's on Friday?
Are you doing a fight companion on Friday?
No. So that's open space for the Idaho fight fan once again.
Yeah, there might be something. I don't know. Stay tuned. Check out the schedule.
Oh, I'm in a pretty good mood right now. I could do a solo stream as well, so we'll see.
We got a Discord. We got a Discord.
Yes, we did.
Let's make a community post about that maybe tonight or tomorrow, and let's get people access to that. So we have a Discord. Anyway,
yeah,
we'll talk about it.
We'll do that.
But again, I will struggle. I will probably fail. I'm gonna try and do a K1 stream. I'm gonna make a valiant attempt at doing K1. So check that out. Or don't. Doesn't really matter. Probably won't find a stream anyway. So
don't do it.
Anyway.
Don't just say no, kids.
All right, Hank. That's the show, guys. Thank you, everybody who attended. Thank you to all our members. Thank you to Isha and Paradox for your donations. Appreciate you guys. Hank, lead us out.
You have escaped the concrete jungle for now. And let me tell you guys one more thing. My good buddy, my good friend right here, Bryce Mitchell. This dude's got some bright ideas. Tell him, Bryce. I've been on the internet doing some research.
I know my
history on this guy.